Hi, my name is Elizabeth Catt, and I'm really excited to be your Students Chemistry 1 teacher this year. I want to take a little bit of time to talk about our course and some of the things that your student will expect this year in our class, as well as some things that they should plan to do in order to be successful. Chemistry 1 is an inquiry-based, student-centered course that focuses on the macroscopic, particulate, and symbolic representations of chemistry. These three levels will all come right together to give our students a great understanding of the main concepts we'll be covering this year. Ask your students about these three levels because we've already been using them. I want to focus on our grading policies in Chemistry 1 as they are likely a little different than what your student has had in other courses. In Chemistry 1, we utilize standards-based grading and a standards-based grading rubric. This is something that we do because it is best practice and because it's going to let our students have many opportunities to be successful throughout the year. One of the things that we really make sure to talk about and to get students to understand is our process of iterative assessment, which means that we assess on each of our learning objectives multiple times throughout the year. A student's final grade will be calculated based on their assessment scores for each of these objectives. So they're really going to be able to have a good idea of where their strengths are and where they're going to have some opportunities for some improvement throughout the semester. With our iterative assessment process, we use assessments as part of our learning process. So students will take an assessment on a topic, we will get those back, we'll go over them together, we'll do some reteaching, and then they will get another assessment on that exact same topic. Their new assessment score will replace the previous assessment score. This is right in line with our Carmel High School grading policies. There will also be other assessment opportunities at the end of a unit for an optional reassessment. And then at the end of the semester, during the last week, final reassessments will be given to students, and that will serve as the last opportunity for students to show their understanding on each concept. With this process, students have the chance to improve their grade every single day throughout the semester. And that'll happen all the way through to that last day where we have to give a final semester grade. We've been talking about our standards-based grading rubric. This is what we use to help students understand and help us understand and communicate student learning proficiency. We've talked about this with students in class. This is a little bit about what this grading rubric looks like. In the interest of time, I'm going to be sending some more information about this out in Canvas, as well as a short video from Mrs. Drudge explaining how we use our grading rubric and how that's communicated in Canvas, or in PowerSchool, I mean. I think it's really important to be clear with students and families about what students should be setting goals towards doing in class and out of class in order to be successful in our course this year. Chemistry and science is an active content area, so it's important that we are being actively engaged every single day when we're in class. This is something that we've already talked about throughout the year, almost on a daily basis, about how important it is to be active during our class time together. We do a lot of group work and group discussions, so it's really important that students are involved when we are doing whiteboarding and discussions. They can listen, take notes, ask questions during that process, and we really use that specifically to look at the phenomena that we are observing in class together. Students should plan to stay on top of practice tasks, assignments that are asked of them to be completed throughout the unit, and making sure that those things are either completed if they've been assigned to be done when they come to class, or that they have questions on them if there's something that's still in process. The biggest thing for students is to keep trying. With our process of learning and the scientific process, it is so important to keep learning from everything that we do before to improve later on. This is important, especially with our assessment process. So when we do an assessment, make sure you are making corrections, you're asking questions, you're setting goals for yourself, and you're ready to do better the next time that we assess. When we get to the end of a unit, if a reassessment opportunity is needed, make sure those are taken advantage of. And then really make sure that you're letting me know how I can help and when I can help you reach your learning goals. Class time and SRT are great ways to seek additional help and make sure that I am doing all that I can to help your student reach their learning goals. I want to give a quick rundown of how things will be set up for your student in Canvas. On our homepage, you'll see a link to learning modules where they'll find daily agendas and learning activities for each objective. Class resources is going to send students to a page where they'll have digital versions of anything that's handed out in class, whether that's notes, labs, problems. And then finally, contact me will let you know the best way that you can reach me. For students, I always encourage them to send me messages through Canvas, so I receive them both through Canvas and via email. Okay, here's a quick overview of what students will see in Canvas. We will start every unit with an agenda module that has a weekly agenda describing what will be done in class, as well as assignments today. The most recent week will always be at the top. That will be directly followed by our current content module. This contains all class activities, discussions, labs. Links to these content modules will also be found in the weekly agendas. So these are going to be your go-to places for students to make sure that they are on top of things, whether they're in class or whether they miss class. And if you have any questions or they do, please send those my way. And finally, here is my email and my phone extension in my classroom if you or your student needs to contact me. I do really encourage students be the one that reach out to me with any questions. Getting practice now with that self-advocacy skill of reaching out to teachers will really help if students are going on into the workplace or higher education, wherever they're going after Carmel High School. Having that experience now has really proved to be helpful. If you want to make sure that your student has contacted me or that you're receiving the same information, please reach out to me. Or if you have questions yourself, please do so as well. Any phone calls with me will need to be scheduled at least 24 hours in advance so that we can make sure that we get that at a time that is convenient for all parties involved. And then finally, I've worked really hard to set some boundaries for myself with my work-life balance, with my family at home and my kiddos. I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to do my job as a mom to them when I am at home, do my job as a teacher when I'm at work. So I will only respond to messages and emails during my school hours. That's 8:30 to 4:15 Monday through Friday. I do my best to respond within 24 hours, but please keep in mind if messages are sent overnight or over the weekend, I will get to them the following day or the following Monday. I really appreciate your respect of my time with my family outside of school. I hope that you are able to do that for yourself as well. I know it's really hard, especially these days. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm excited to have your child in class this year. Thank you so much.